How much slack does this chain have? It does have the pickup. Plan on using this pump. I believe it's a milling high volume. I think I shimmed that spring for pressure. When I flipped it over, the oil pump drive shaft rod fell out of it. I believe this is like a hardened rod for that high volume oil pump. There's trap doors in here. There and there. And it's baffled. Bigger volume as well. And header's cleared it fine, so this will be a good pan for our 500 cubic inch build. I plan on reusing this cam. Still have the cam card. It was a pretty mild cam, but it worked great. I'm not really planning on using anything else off this engine. So I'll clean them cylinders up, oil it, as I put the parts from the other engine that I'm not going to use onto this engine. I'm trying to keep it as a complete engine. It'll go in storage like that. I'm loving this engine stand. I think this is worth every penny. So we'll see if that other engine has a windage tray on it. I may or may not use it. I don't know. This block is drilled for 4-bolt main center caps for the 3 center mains. So they could easily be added to this. And this is like a straight main instead of splayed. Here's that block we're going to stroke. You can see we got 4-bolt caps on it now. So this is line bored and honed. 3 Butler center caps. I couldn't get a Butler front cap, so we put a Kloppman cap on it. And then it's a stock back cap. Could be complete overkill for what we're doing, but hopefully it makes the whole setup more rigid. Here's an example of a block that's not drilled and tapped for a 4-bolt cap on those center 3 mains. Can it be done? Yes. Does it take time or money? Yep. Besides the flex plate, I'm not going to take anything else off of this. I'm going to do that after you take it off the stand. So my goal here is to take everything off this 400 I'm not going to use, label it as 400, and then I'm just going to bolt it all on this engine for storage so it all stays together. This whole engine build I'm doing here is just kind of a temporary thing to get the car up and running good and just be able to drive it around, not pound on it too hard. Dismantling this now. Pull the distributor out. There's a number. I'd have to look it up to see if it's original. I'm going to assume that it is, but who knows. Gonna pull the intake and everything else off next here and then see what we got. Looks like it was cast the 18th day of 1971 in August. So I'm just gonna label all my pieces like that so I know what went on that motor. All the plugs look good. Bone stock valve train. I believe this plate was designed to deflect the oil back into the top of the rocker arm. We've got stock guide plates, screw-in studs. I'll get this valve train loosened up and get these heads off of here. I've taken this exhaust manifold off. I wanted to show you the head, but you can see in 72 there was no bolt here. Now this manifold could be drilled to accept a bolt, but wait until you see the head. Let's see how coked up it is inside this thing. Looks like somebody put a gasket on this at some point. That came right off. Could be worse, I guess. Would never use any of this valve train stuff. But I'm just going to toss it in the other engine to hold it. So I think I'll toss this cam in the other engine, all these lifters. And then the next guy will have it if he wants it. This damper is on here a lot tighter, so I'm going to use a puller to see if I can get it off. I think these Pontiacs are basically a slip fit. June 24th, 1971. Coincides with that intake. Pat is not liking that. I don't think this is the original chain. Look at the slop in this thing. I mean, that chain's loose on the bottom of the gear. It's like I can't even get this all slop to one side. It's so loose what I do on one side affects the other. I think I am gonna take these heads off right now. I don't want to expose the oil galley and get crap in it from these coked up heads. It ain't pretty, but nothing looks obviously wrong here. And like I said, it ran good. Was this the Pontiac 066 cam? Probably. These cam bearings look funky on the ends, but there's still enough meat in there. I'm just gonna run them. Not to mention I don't have a cam bearing tool at this point. I would have ran this engine the way it was with these heads, but I'll show you why I didn't right now. I gotta get some better lighting in this garage, but it's because this head doesn't have that end exhaust bolt hole, like this one. It doesn't even have the material here. I mean, what the hell was Pontiac thinking? They could have at least left the material there so you could drill and tap it. So I already got headers in the car and some decent exhaust, and I don't want to change that up. I do not want to run a header without the end bolts on it. I mean, that would be ridiculous. So this is really what's moving this whole swap over here. Combustion chambers are like 5 cc smaller than these. So it will pick up a little bit of compression, hopefully. I'm gonna clean these cylinders out, oil them up real good, and then bolt on this old head for storage. You can still see the crosshatch marks when I honed it. This block is in super shape. And just like magic, the 400 top end is on that other block. I'm turning my double engine mess back into a single engine mess by bolting this together here. I'm not quite done getting stuff off of here yet. I get this pan off, see if I can straighten it, and the oil pump and oil pump drive shaft. I'm gonna go ahead and stick all that stuff on this engine. I'm gonna do that upside down though, just so crap doesn't fall into this engine, because we're gonna see if we can use this engine. So here's the oil pump, the drive shaft rod, the pan. Plenty of sludge in this pan, and is that like a chunk of wire or something? I don't know what all that crap is. The sump did suck some of it up. What's that a chunk of? A gasket maybe? I don't know. So I'm noticing this engine has a full length windage tray on it. This one only has a 3/4 length windage tray on it. You know, I'm debating using any windage tray at all because I've heard of better results without it. I remember I had difficulty fitting this guy when I assembled that other engine. I put spacers in here. It might have been something to do with this dipstick tube position to get that to line up. That tray seems to fit on there perfectly fine. The other one is just hitting the crank. I don't know. We'll find out when we fit it on that 400. I was short a pan here, and I had this in storage for years. I think there's actually a crack in it somewhere circled in here. But it's one of those things where maybe I'll use that one day. Aha, I am using it today. This will just keep the mice and dust out of it. All right, the damper, pump, manifolds are back on it. I think we're done the bottom. I'm gonna flip this back over and then finish putting the other pieces on it. All right, I think everything's back on it. We gotta switch flex plates out yet. This one looks like a nicer flex plate. And then we're gonna put the other engine on this stand for assembly because that crank is just so nice. The next video, we're cleaning this up, assembling it, and crossing our fingers that we can get it to run good. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.